Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebartogo.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we speculate on the impact of where you start your bourbon journey. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Von Nieters, Katie Proof, and Swiat Riot.
Hey, gang, what's up? Swiat Riot's in the house. Yeah. So, hey, we've got a fun show today. We're going to be talking about, does it have an impact? If you start on the bottom shelf, work your way up, is that different than starting at the top and then exploring what else is out there, kind of working your way down almost? So we'll get to that after the break. For right now, McNew said there's something she want to talk about. What is that, McNew?
Yeah, so we've all been kind of in bourbon for a while now. Do you notice that bourbon lingo infiltrates itself into your normal everyday talk? Like Steve, maybe you don't count because you work in it every day, but for the rest of us, it's like, oh, I would say that about bourbon, and I accidentally say it about something at work, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. Because today was an example. My company throws out t-shirts and stuff, logoed stuff for us to buy every couple of months. And we were talking about it in our group chat, and I was like, yeah, I like it, but I don't $55 like it. Because I would say that about a bourbon. I'd be like, yeah, it's good at 30, but not 55.
Oh, okay.
And somebody was like, why can't you just say you don't want to pay that much? Why can't you say it's expensive? And I was like, I don't know. I don't want to pay $55, but I would pay 30.
The company's charging you $55 for a t-shirt?
Yeah,
Jesus.
well, it was a fleece. It was actually really nice, and I might still get it. But
Of course.
That's an interesting one, because that's one that you wouldn't you would think this is totally normal, but for someone to point it out of why are you saying it that way?
Yeah,
because immediately I was like, no, that sounds perfect. That's exactly how you should say it.
Apparently it's a bourbon thing. The more I thought about it, I'm like, oh, that's why I say it like that.
Okay.
Oh, I'm heavy spreadsheet work recently, and instead of saying filter, and I say, well, we're going to distill that down. And people I'm like, just for lack of a better word, we're going to distill that down. I just like saying that more than filter. And
I like it.
Oh, hey, I like that. This makes it more fun. And I'm like, I'm not going to tell you what the first third and the last third are going to look, but we're going to go to that middle third. Oh. And that's what we're going to work on. And they're like, why do you do that? I said, because that's the hearts. The heart of the matter. They're like, oh my God, I love this. No, I totally been bringing that in. Yeah.
I like it. I like it on spreadsheets. That's good.
Yeah, you're just entertaining yourself at this point, Tim.
That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm like, God, if I have to sit here and work this thing, I'm going to have some fun with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. What about you, Von Nieters? You get anything going on?
I would say I do the same thing as McNew.
Oh my God!
I say it just like that too.
I'm sure
so
sus. If you're with me here and McNew's in the bourbon industry, I lapse into my McNew all the time. I mean, so I mean, technically that's bourbon creeping into my life, right? I'll be in the store and
yeah.
Next thing you know, you just have this urge to walk out front of the shop and lay down and act like you're holding up.
Take my shoes off. Have my shoes off.
Yes.
feet all
Putting
dirty.
at your advertisements on your window.
Yeah,
Yes.
have a glass of whiskey in my hand too. Also illegal. Yeah.
Oh my God, they you get whiskey in here. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Occasionally, you get the urge to occasionally take a bathroom selfie.
Yeah.
You know what?
Like,
Yeah,
That's
my
happened
kids
in
look
front of my
good
shop
standing
more
at
than
this
once,
urinal.
where
Hold on,
she's-
selfie.
Yeah. So she's sat out in front of my store more than once, lit. Yeah.
I have this tendency where if I drink too much, I get really hot. So I'm like, I just really got to be outside. I don't want my shoes touching me anymore.
I don't
It's
want my
a
shoes
thing.
touching
I'm
me.
with you.
You want the
Okay.
floor of the ABV barrel shop and the sidewalk out front.
Yeah, the
touching your
sidewalk,
feet
yes.
instead.
It feels nice. Like, when your
Feels
dog
nice.
starts floor
Yeah.
because it's cold. Yeah, it's nice.
It's nice. Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
They-
There is something calming about the cool old tile in a bathroom.
Right. Well, there you
Yeah.
go.
when you're like puking and laying
Yeah.
on it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Sleeping.
Sleeping.
Sure.
The,
Yeah.
I have ordered a Coke Zero on the rocks before, so I guess Lingo.
Yes.
makes its way.
There you go.
That's pretty good.
Huh.
Oh.
Versus your Coke Zero neat, I guess, would be.
Yeah.
Drinking mixer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I think this stuff creeps into your life for sure, McNew. So yes,
That's a good one, McNew. You're right.
yeah,
Yeah.
news on it. So there you go. On that note, it is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Swiat on the set. What do you got?
I'm digging back into the collection. I've got a little Woodford Reserve chocolate malted rye.
Okay,
Is what I have today.
Mm.
There'll be nothing on this one.
yeah, you're right.
As
He was
always.
right. Yeah, he
Less
got
arm
that.
movement. It felt like it was a lot, like coming out of there.
More
but
authentic.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
visual only game still for you.
I don't think I've opened this thing up in like 2 years. So
in 2 years. Okay, Katie, how about you?
I have Maker's Mark, the Taste Select Repeat choice that just came in my quarterly box, which is Date the Nose, Marry the Palate.
Okay, nice.
A mouthful, but oh no. It's
wow, that was spectacular, Katie. On the Nieters.
Oh,
Oh,
her second
Gluten
attempt
rally.
was stellar.
Great.
Yeah, I don't know if we
Makers has
can
got to
count it.
work on their corks. The top
Yes.
is so little,
Right.
and then you get the wax in the way, and
I agree.
that's-
You're not wrong about that.
And like
Mhm.
even I even got the lines on my fingers from their freaking plastic cap. That's,
Yeah. All right, Von Nieters, what are you doing here?
Well, we're talking about top shelf stuff. I broke out the Leopold Brothers 3-chamber rye.
Whoa. Oh, that was really solid.
Mhm.
Not as good as Katie's, though. Not as good as Katie's. It was
Yeah, it's
very
been opened
nice.
recently.
Yeah. And he never shares that. You think he'd invite his old buddy, old Steve, over, just have a couple pours.
Well,
of
there's
Right
Christmas
over
party
old
coming up. I don't know.
well, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Put that in. All right, McNew, how about you?
So I went the opposite end of the spectrum. I went bottom shelf with this old zero. This is screw top.
It's a screw top, okay?
And it's a
that's my favorite.
oh,
Yeah. Katie's got the lead. I've got some Willet rye here. So Willet rye. There we go. What the hell was that? Jesus. Well,
yeah,
I was
so
thrown
glad
off my game.
so glad
I
we
won.
stayed quiet for that.
I
I've got
would have
some
won.
Willet Rex.
I would have won if Von Nieters wasn't making noises. It threw me off my game. Did you see what that did to me?
You barely
I was,
beat McNew that round.
I was shook. So
It's like
that's-
right before somebody takes their golf swing.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't do that. Or
That's
bowling. You have to be quiet when people
Bowling,
bowl.
yeah.
Yeah, you got to be quiet.
Shooting pool.
Yeah. Well,
Bowling, it is loud as shit.
Yeah, I was
in
going to say
there.
I've never been to a quiet bowling alley.
Yeah. What kind of bowling country
no,
club
you
bullshit
can't talk.
bowling are you
gotta,
doing?
when you give the courtesy to the bowler, you can't. You have to let them bowl. You can't just walk up next to them and bowl too. You have to be
Well, I mean, I
quiet.
agree. There's the order left and right. Like you don't bolt the same time as the
Oh, yeah.
lane next to you. But there's nothing to do with noise.
Yeah.
What,
Well, I'll
what
tell you
have,
what.
You have
All right,
padding down by your pins too. so
Let
that
me
they
tell you
quietly
something.
fall?
All right, I've got a story. It's story time now. I was in 6th grade. I wanted to play every sport, so I signed up for a bowling league. By the way, I hated it. Hated bowling. The problem was they were at like a regular bowling lane, and they had all these old retired guys who want to turn you into the PGA. And I just wanted to go there and just roll down the lane and have fun. I didn't care what my average was. I just wanted to have fun. And so we were down to the last game, and we were already eliminated, my team. But they had to get like a certain score because there was like a tie, and if they beat the score, and as the guy was going back, and I liked the other guys that were because they were the older guys, the cool guys, and I didn't like the team we were playing against because the guy was kind of a jerk. And as he reared back, and he only had to get like 7 pins. He's going back. Everybody's quiet. The tension's there. All the old guys aren't even bothering. They just let him go. And he goes back. And as he's getting ready to release, I yell, "Screw up!" Like as loud as I could. And I got banned from bowling. I got kicked out of DuBois lanes.
You got to take him behind the woodshed.
Yeah, they booted me. Because by the way, he chucked it right in the gutter. And there's no redos or anything. They missed the playoffs because of that. And I was lifetime banned from DuBois lanes. If you guys
right
start
back
the league
to
at DuBois,
Jesus
I'm out. Yeah, I'm out.
Big Lebowski. I'm going to shove this up your ass and pull till it goes.
Yeah. My bowling career was over before it even started. Yeah.
At what point did you yell at them? Because bowling is several steps forward. It's not like
as the arm
and
was,
that backswing comes.
Yeah,
right at the moment.
There was no stopping it for him. Yeah, it was. That
like
the arm was back.
Okay, so he'd already done his 2 steps, and he
the
was
steps were all
He already did the hip shimmy to the side to get it back right.
Okay,
and he's ready to come up at the claw and really pull through.
I was so loud. And
you gave him the mood.
Here, it's like when Jack Black and Kyle, they do that greatest song in the world. They're not playing the greatest song in the world, but it's just a tribute. It's just a tribute. When I yelled there, "Screw up," that was just a tribute. That's not as loud as I yelled it so loud. That guy, I'm telling you, just rolled it straight in the gutter. It hit like 3 feet past the foul lane. It just went right in the gutter. He so rolled his arm there, so startled him. So yeah, I did that. Yeah. Now there's the
judge's mails.
That could be a sport right there.
Yeah,
causing. Honestly, there's a thing you can do in charity golf tournaments where you like heckle people, and you can make a donation to get them to not heckle you, or then to like heckle other people more. It's for charity golf. It's a lot of fun. You're trying to get them to mess up.
Yes. So there you go. On that note, it's time to drink. We already drank? Didn't we?
Did everyone go? Then we can cheers.
Did we go to commercial break already? Or
where's Steve's handler? No, not yet.
Where are we at here?
We went on another small talk after the cork pop.
Okay.
It's a very
we just congratulated Katie on her cork pop win.
All right. Cheers to Katie.
Cheers.
Katie's fault, by the way. She made me tell the story. All right. What we'll do next, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about top shelf versus bottom shelf. Where do you start? Does that have an impact on the bourbon drinker you are today? We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of executive bourbon steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your executive bourbon steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your executive bourbon steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com.
Hello, this is Jeff from Iowa, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about our bourbon journeys from bottom shelf to top shelf.
Yes, we are. So I think that this group, you start at the bottom, and I think that's kind of the way it certainly was when you were a bourbon drinker back in the day. I just think it's changed from that now. I think a lot of people have been attracted by the Blantons of the world and the Pappy Van Winkles and all these things that they hear about and crave. The Wellers, they got to get all those things that would be considered top shelf, and that's what they're looking for, and that's what they drink. And then, to go back and say, what about a solid Maker's Mark or a Barton, 100 proof, or even an Old Foe 100 proof? They're like, I don't. That's just my take. I think you got to start at the bottom and work your way up, and then you appreciate the finer stuff.
Well, if you go back to when we started, all those names were on the shelf. They were mid-shelf or below.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Weller Special Reserve, 1999. VOB, Very Old Barton, 100 proof, bottled and bond, $15.99.
Yeah.
Buy them hand over fist, whatever you wanted. Now all of a sudden, forget it.
Yeah.
So everything that's now considered top shelf was our mid-shelf or bottom.
Yeah, but I also think that by starting on the bottom shelf, you start a journey. So then it's a journey of discovery, and you're looking around and you're finding things, and you're also then you get into the history and all that. Here's a perfect example, and that happened in the shop. And this is a guy comes in, he's looking for allocated stuff. We don't have any, but he starts looking through our gift baskets, and he sees a Weller 12 in the gift basket, and he was like, "Whoa." So is this one where you just add water and that makes the Weller? It was bath salts in a Weller 12 bottle. So he literally knows nothing about bourbon at all, but he likes the names and he wants to shop the names. So much so he saw that and he thought it's just add water bourbon.
Oh,
that's when you know nothing about bourbon if they think that's even possible.
Oh my.
Yeah.
If he's willing to get an education, then maybe he's got that spark of interest and hasn't had the opportunity, but it sounds like he's a person who's not interested in actually learning.
Right. Yeah. He wanted to be able to buy something and put it out on Facebook,
Yeah. And that's the thing. They don't want to actually drink it. It's like, I want to post it on the Facebook. I want to get the clout. I want it to live on my shelf forever. I don't think those people are actually enjoying sharing.
I don't think they're fans. I think they're fans of acquisitions of things that they think are cool. Yeah. They're collectors of stuff.
I've talked to a couple of people that at the ABV Barrel Shop Act. What?
Oh, it was Steven said collectors of stuff.
Stuff.
Yeah, stuff. Yeah. There's been a few people I've talked to at the barrel shop before that said that, once they found out, like, there's so much good craft stuff out there that they had no idea about till they found the barrel shop that is presenting, some of the greatest stuff that these people make.
Yeah.
And it changed their whole perspective on all that.
We always throw out the number that there's 52 distilleries in Missouri and 7 make good stuff, and I think that carries throughout. So that's the problem. Most people who've maybe drank the heritage brands, the big brands, the ones that we all know the names, and they think that's what bourbon tastes like and that's good bourbon, and then they stumble in, and the percents are against them. If you just go into a craft distillery, don't know anything about it, the percentages are against you, where it's probably going to be bad. And you taste that and you think, this is representative of craft. I don't like craft, I guess. Right. I don't like this, so I don't like craft, I guess. And then, but again, it's part of the journey. So if you're starting at the bottom and exploring, you go up. The people that start that are the Blanton's collectors or whatever it is, the super allocated stuff like the yearly Four Roses limited editions, whatever it is that they're chasing, then to go back, it seems like such a step backwards to them. They're hard to convert to what we're doing. And they always want to as you set a bottle in front of them and you have them taste it, they're like, oh, I don't like this. I like trying to get them to do things blind. They never want to do that. And so we did a Blanton's class where we had Blanton's mixed in there, and only 2 people out of 24 picked Blanton's as the favorite in the thing. And these were people who came to the class because we were pouring Blanton's.
So people do just buy labels, and I have the perfect example. One of my friends will always send me like a photo of their receipt, and they'll be like, "Did I do good?" And like they drink, but they're not like, they don't really know. No. So he'll be like, "Did I get good deals on these?" So we got an Eagle Rare single barrel, $39.99, Stag, $69.99, Weller Special Reserve, $36.99, great. Mixers Toasted Barrel, $99.99. He's like, "Are any of these good?" I'm like, "Why are you buying them if you don't know that they're good?" And I'm like, "Yes, they're good. You got great deals. Good job. And shop for me and send them here." But
the pricing.
You should have said no.
Pricing
those are awful. Send them to me.
Like you're really gonna hate all of those. You know
You're
what?
not gonna like
I'll
those,
even
no.
buy them off your hand.
What? You paid $250. I will send you $175 plus shipping. Let's make a deal.
Let's make a deal. Let's make a deal, says McNew. So I agree with that. And I don't know.
I think as well, I don't know about starting at the bottom though, because I think it won't get its grips in you then. I think starting at the middle. So
what do you consider Maker's Mark and Jim Beam White Label?
Okay, I would consider that somewhat middle because
well then that's where I started, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I started with regular Makers and Jim Beam, same way. And then
mid, but it is, they're starting bourbons. That's not, I'm like, it's not bottom shelf.
I feel I mean, I guess you could say there's lower shelf than like Old Crow and stuff like that.
Right. So I think then you from there you go a little lower and a little higher a step. So you can start tasting the difference then in that range. And so going and then having your, okay, I really like this Knob Creek single barrel. Now let's also, and then add what would be maybe like a craft whiskey where then you can see, okay, this is newer, and start developing your taste that way. But you have to have something in there that at least is a high enough quality product that you like, and then you can compare it and start building that comparison. I almost would suggest people to avoid the top names for a decent time before they even try them. Eventually, I think you should. I think everyone should try Blanton's and Pappy and everything, just so you have it to compare to stuff that you've developed a taste for and really like, because then you'll be surprised as well in most situations of that's just okay. And so I think if you go right to that and don't have the taste built up yet, then you'll think, oh, this is how it's supposed to taste, and compare everything else to it when it doesn't have to taste that way.
I think that when people are new though, they don't know what they like. Because I for the longest time was like, I only like wheated bourbons, but I really like rye now. Like I like a little bit of everything. So you've got to learn yourself and not just like, put yourself in a box. Because I did for a very long time. Like I only like wheated bourbons, only interested in wheated. I was missing out on a lot of shit. So you got to unbox yourself and be
Those are the great days at the barrel shop. When you do have someone that does have an open mind, they tell you they don't like rye whiskey or they don't like high rye bourbons, and then you have them taste some good ones. And the ones that are really truly open to it will be like, oh boy, I really like this. And a lot of times they'll buy the bottle, even though they come in and saying, I don't even like rye. I don't give me any rye whiskeys. I don't like it. And then we'll give them some and they'll be like, wow, I really like this. Let me pick up a bottle. So
and then and don't make yourself like, it's okay to be brand loyal, but if you're like, I only like Maker's Mark, you're going to miss out on a lot of good shit. Because I know people, I only drink Jim Beam, or I only drink this. I'm like,
Wild Turkey.
Okay, this is a similar mash bill. Why don't you try this? Like, you got to just unbox yourself.
Yeah. Well,
don't shit on anybody who's trying to discover and everything like that. Don't say, well, if you don't drink this, then you're not drinking bourbon.
Yes.
Or you don't drink that. It's just like that crap. I see it all the time. And it's like, well, okay, your pocketbook may be a lot larger to afford all these things a lot more. Well, somebody starting out on this stuff, they're going to get turned away by it because they're not going to understand what the pricing point, trying to chase around Full Trace at $50 a bottle because it's being jacked up at the local market, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not knowing the running capture stuff.
I'm just like, okay, you know what your budget is. If I don't know what this bottle is, I'm like, okay, I spent $50 on it. Not a big deal. I'm not going to miss that. But I'm not going to go spend $120 on something I might not like. Like, you got to know. And I don't think people realize that, where they're like, well, this was so expensive, so I bought it. It has to be good. I'm like, just because it's expensive doesn't mean you're going to like it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You get asked, everybody will get asked, so what's your favorite bourbon, this, that, and the other? And if people get shocked that I say certain brands, like, well, that's like really cheap. And I said, because it's damn good, and don't tell anybody about it, so it can stay cheap and keep mouth shut.
You know what?
No, it's like,
because I want to drink it every day during the week.
Yes.
I want, like my week bourbon. I'm not going to spend a lot of money on something I'm going through on a regular basis.
I know. Like, it's a weird thing, right? Because, like, we have our friends, like Demetrius Kane. I want to tell the world about Demetrius Kane, but then I'm like, shit,
God.
we're going to fuck ourselves here. We're not going to have any of this stuff before we know it. We're going to be so smart and so cool that we tell everybody about it, and everybody is going to, he's going to start going, expanding distribution, and, then we won't be able to get it, and we'll be like, well, shit. Ain't that the shits?
That's okay, though. Demetrius is the type, he'd remember us. He'd make sure we took care of
He'd
us.
take care of
This is
you,
true.
but
He is good at that. I will give him 100% credit for that, and that's not always the case. There's
he has a very long-term memory.
Yeah,
that's for damn sure. He does. Yeah. That's a good point, Steve. You're absolutely right.
A lot of good
that.
Stuff for us in the barrel shop, and things that he doesn't have to do just because he has that loyalty, because we've known him for a long time. But and some don't have that. That's been a weird thing for me. Helping people and building their brands, and then they kind of think they get past you, and then they don't want to.
Yes, that is a thing.
Yeah, that's a thing. So it's happened a couple times. So
really, those are the brands that are better than any of the big names of those brands that support their customers and that you can develop a relationship with. And that right there makes it more enjoyable, because it's not only the flavor, it's the story behind it. And so learning that about all of them.
And you're not giving up anything, right, Katie? I mean, let me tell you something. On a blind basis, you put what Demetrius is making.
Oh God!
You choose your horse. Whatever it is. If it's Pappy, if it's you choose your horse. If Blanton's, and let's blind compare what Demetrius is doing versus any of those. It's better. Demetrius is better.
Even like with Kentucky All Rye has been like one of my favorites, and if you would put it up with all of my favorites, there's a very good chance that I would choose his product first. Yeah, it is so freaking good.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool what we got going on here. And funny thing is, he's kind of a renegade. I mean, he's not in the Distillers Guild, and the other distillers are jealous of what he's got going on.
Yep.
This idea that everything's friendly and they're all kumbaya. Well, they're not treating him with kumbaya.
Nope.
Yeah. So that's not necessarily true. It's sad because he's a great guy. Yeah. Nothing.
Grow the pie, not your slice. Everybody wins.
Exactly. So there you go. There's just some thoughts out there on top shelf versus bottom shelf. You take your journey however you want. I can't say that I've done the perfect thing. I feel like my big mistake is I think I might have ruined my palate really for I like the high proof stuff now, and it's hard to go back when you're drinking all this stuff 115, 120, 130, and then to drink a 90 proof bourbon. It's like
so I thought about Steve, because there's people that'll do like sober October or dry January. I'm like, what if I just stopped drinking for a month? Would I think the high proofs are like, oh my God, my mouth is on fire? Or would I still like that? Like, would I want to go back to like a 90 proof? Like,
what if we did low proof? What if we did low proof January? We didn't quit drinking, but we went to low proof.
That seems more reasonable.
That would be kind of fun to do. And then if we bust any of our friends having anything over 100 or over,
it's 100 or 95 or over. Yeah, it's got to be there. Yeah,
and then we all
Yellowstone's at 93. I'm not giving up my Yellowstone.
Other than I have to have the caveat of my work. It is my job. I can't go in and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't drink anything here because
no, I'm not accepting any single barrel less than.
So I do have to give that caveat, but I'd stick to that in my personal drinking. But I do have to at the shop. I have to be able to.
I think that would be a fun thing to figure out because it's been so long where it's like, even remember what that's like.
I'd be willing to try that in January. We should.
Yeah, let's do it in January. And then I'm wondering, like, if like midway through the month, we like, oh, you know what? This is really, I'm enjoying this 90 proof.
All right. Well, let's caveat January. How about January 1st through Key West?
There you go.
Through the Tuesday start of Key West, because there's no way I'm not enjoying.
Oh yeah, there'll be
proof whiskey.
Yeah.
All right, so
I remember what's in January.
So what's the maximum proof?
Can we make what's our max? Is it 100?
I say 101, just for a specific reason for me.
Wild turkey.
I feel like 101 is still pretty high. I feel like we have to cut it off in the 90s.
Exactly.
What the hell am I
think you got to cut it down, man. You got to make it hurt.
I think it's got to be
That
99
is
or
gonna
less.
hurt.
That's
99 or I can do that for
Yeah,
January.
99 or less. Keep
I'm
it
There's,
simple.
inspired.
there's not really very many 99s, 98, 97. There's some
No.
95s and stuff like
There's
that.
95s,
If you go
93s.
99 or less, that cuts out a lot of stuff.
Yeah, because I feel like there's a big difference between 93 and 101. Like that's
Yes.
where
There is. You're right.
Yeah.
All right.
Low-
So yeah,
99 or
99 or
less.
less.
Interesting.
All right, tell
Wow.
us who's with us. Who is with us in the January low proof challenge? So, yeah,
I like
a
it.
lot of rules and caveats. It's before Key West, not during work hours if you own a barrel
that's
shop.
at least a solid
Starts
3.
on January 2nd, goes to January 23rd.
Yeah,
You know, we're off work on January 1st. We're just gonna probably drink all day. So
of course, we got to.
Yeah, I get paid holidays now. Like I'm gonna be.
Oh,
oh
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, well, the rules might be skewed a little bit.
Yeah.
January
We'll do our
2nd.
best. We'll do our
Okay,
best.
no, this is perfect actually. January 2nd through January 22nd.
There you
That's
go.
the week of West.
Okay.
So we got a
Good.
solid 3 weeks of low proofs.
Is there fines if we catch someone drinking above proof?
Yes.
There should be a fine.
Well, who's going to
You have
catch
to
it?
go
You're home by
shake.
yourself.
You gotta go. You gotta go
Gotta
shake
be
Crown
honest.
Royal guy's hand.
If you're not honest, yeah.
No, I think that if whatever we go above proof is a dollar amount we need to donate to a charity.
I
Yeah.
like it.
ALS.
Ooh.
LS.
Oh,
Each time we
In the name
each
of
time we
Rick
do
Brand.
it.
Sure.
Yeah. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Time to stock up on some Four Roses Yellow Label.
There you go. It's time.
Ben's gonna
It's time.
donate
Could
a
be
lot
worse.
of,
I mean,
$2.
I just enjoy
to
a bunch of
ALS.
Buffalo Trace. I'm good.
Yeah.
Good. You're good.
Yeah.
Steve, you realize you probably
Buffalo
just
Trace
cut
and
out
Buffalo
3/4 of the attendees and patrons of your shop right now, right? Hey, what can I get here? Oh, sorry, it's low proof January. There's nothing on the shelf here that meets the needs for that
Okay.
guy. Sorry.
They don't get
This
to
could affect
participate.
business.
Question: is high proof okay if you're putting it in a cocktail? So as long as
Put
the
your proof
final
in it down.
drink you're consuming is the lower proof.
Yeah, it's got to be 99 or less.
No.
Oh,
Yeah. No. 99 or
Label
less.
on the bottle has to be 99 or less.
So you can't use high proof. Okay. Oh,
You do
my.
whatever you want with it, but 99 or less.
So,
Oh,
Katie,
wow.
that Coke Zero on the rocks when you add a splash of Maker's Mark.
Mm,
You better
Yeah.
add 2 splashes of Maker's Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're not
I do
limiting the
enjoy Coke and
volume.
Buffalo,
We're
so
limiting
that's
the
fine.
proof.
It's true.
Right.
I better go stock up on my Buffalo Trace now because that's all it's gonna be.
Buffalo Trace and a lot of larceny is going to happen over here.
Go to Schnucks. Schnucks has Buffalo Trace.
Do they? I've been struggling to find it. Okay.
Go to Jewel.
Oh,
Mariano's here in the
a lot
Chicagoland
lately.
area. Albertsons has the best allocation.
Well, Katie may fly up there, so I laugh.
Exactly.
But,
Well,
she definitely could.
On her way
Oh, yeah.
through to Iceland to Reykjavik, as she's touring her way through Greenland.
Yes.
She'll stop up here in Chicago.
Yeah, and then to criticize us, she'll be on the podcast halfway through the journey to criticize us because one of us threw a box. in
Sorry,
the
I
wrong
have a
trash.
layover here in Bangor, Maine, as I'm working my way through to Greenland.
I do love Bangor.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's got, using that E85 jet fuel, you know, just
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. On that note, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Von Nieters, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Von Nieters, I before the E.
Katie,
you can find me over on Instagram at Katie Proof.
Tim,
You can find me on Instagram at SwyGuy2112.
McNew.
I'm on Instagram at McNew, ABV.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website, abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Maybe you want to search old shows. Check it out, abvnetwork.com. That's where we keep them. Over 4,000 of them out there for your listening pleasure. If you want to come by the ABV Barrel Shop, see what we have going on, the place where you can try before you buy, check us out online. That's a safe zone. By the way, if you're at the barrel shop, you're allowed to drink whatever we have in stock. It's a neutral zone. I have to have
Neutral zone.
customers. I don't sell anything. What do you want me to close?
Game
the
on,
door?
game off.
But it's only 3 weeks. Go buy it and drink it
Then
later.
Try it later. Then try it
Okay,
later.
you can taste it if you taste just one and make sure because it's tiny little tasting glasses.
It's just
All
tasting
of
glasses.
that is an exception.
Okay. Yeah.
Perfect.
But
I'll be there
only-
quite often.
Only
Thank
if you're
God I
trying
negotiated
new
that at
ones
the
you
last
haven't
minute.
had before. Only new ones. If you've had it before, that doesn't
No,
count.
that's true. That's fair.
You can
I'm
go
like,
buy your bottles to then use for tasting after the 22nd to see the
Exactly.
flavor difference.
Yeah, join us for the
Stock up.
20 days in January.
I drive to St. Louis every Saturday in January.
Right.
Perfect.
I need my little eye proof. Like,
Yes, we get new stuff and people are waiting for the truck because they just want to. That's the ones that know they
they're
can
walking
try.
like, McNew, you've had everything we have in here. No, give me something new. I need my eye proof.
Get something new. Yeah. All right, McNew. Anything else to say before we get out of here?
I would like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV
Great job today, gang. Fartings will have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing, the ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.